Bitcoin metrics demand Bitcoin price gains as analysis calls for near-term caution. As pointed out here by Crypto Ed, Bitcoin update, nothing changed, expecting a move towards 40,000. Bullish scenario indicates a bounce to 48,000. Bearish comes in play when we break 40,000. Also be sharing the latest updates from Rec Capital. And this just in breaking news, Samson Mow, the CSO of Blockstream and the architect of the Volcano bonds, is running for mayor in Bitcoin City and has Nayib Bukele's full support. And as he shares here, attacks from the legacy system will only intensify in the weeks ahead of the Volcano bond launch. Keep your eyes on the goal. Volcano bond set to launch in March. And quoting legendary billionaire investor Bill Miller, I put a few percent of my net worth into Bitcoin and it grew so much it became half. Also in today's show, Bitcoin's 30% recovery in 2 weeks has Bitcoin whales back in accumulation mode. And here's a perfect example of that. Stop panic selling your Bitcoin to this massive accumulator who buys Bitcoin 20 to 30x per day. Also in today's show, is Bitcoin mirroring Apple's explosive growth? Fidelity's macro analyst likens Bitcoin to the world's richest company. That's right, Fidelity Investments Director of Global Macro, Jurian Timmer, says the price of Bitcoin is set to grow exponentially as the adoption rate increases. Quoting him here, I've compared the whole network effect for Bitcoin to Apple Computer's network effect. So as Apple grows its revenues, its stock prices go up exponentially from that. Bitcoin is following in the same path. And so I think there are some very robust logic to why Bitcoin should see higher values as the demand curve evolves. Now, Jurian Timmer also predicts that one Bitcoin could be worth $1 billion by 2038. Yeah, like whoa. Also in today's show, on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin could become a $20 trillion asset class, but there is a catch. That's right, on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin could increase its market cap more than 20 times from the current levels in the next decade. Quoting him here from a new interview, I think Bitcoin's market cap will be more, maybe close to $20 trillion. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, Ether, and all the major alts are currently correcting and in the red. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more, in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subs, along with a $100,000 Bitcoin price. If you like getting that crypto, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And today's episode is brought to you by FTX. Do you know they're giving away some crazy amount of Bitcoin? That's right. How much? It could be $1 million. It could be $1.5 million worth. They actually don't know yet. Here's how it works. Check it out.
I've missed out on talking for 33 years, but I'm not missing out this Sunday. FTX is giving away the time their ad runs in Bitcoin, and I'm going to win. For charity.
Now here's how you can enter to win. Simply, when the commercial airs, all you need to do is check this pinned tweet. I'll include it in the show notes below this video, in the description. And once you see the ad actually airing on Super Bowl Sunday, retweet that pinned tweet with the commercial between when the ad actually airs and 11:59 p.m. Eastern for a chance to win. It's that simple. And yes, no purchase necessary and subject to terms and conditions. So go ahead and click my referral link in the description right down below and get ready for Super Bowl Sunday for your chance to win some free Bitcoin. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. How's it going, crypto fam? I'm your host, JV. Holla at your boy in the live chat. And guess what? It's my birthday, and I couldn't think of a better place to be than here with y'all. Now check it. Bitcoin has a possibility of winning back more lost ground this month, but a retest to 40,000 may test the bulls beforehand. In its latest market update on February 11th, Trading Suite Decent Trader voiced cautious optimism over the Bitcoin price action. That's right, after rallying above $45,000 on the back of the US economic data, Bitcoin has since dropped back into the range that has defined it this week. For Decent Trader, the chances of a low time frame decline are there, even if on-chain metrics are putting in rare bull signals. Quoting them here, Bitcoin is at a relatively neutral level with clear zones of resistance and support above and below. The update summarized, acting in the bull's favor and sentiment, now in neutral rather than the fear territory, and encouraging signs from derivatives markets, low funding rates, and a negative long/short ratio. Quoting them again here, we have now finally had a sustained period of negative funding rates, seen open interest drop over time, and importantly, saw the long/shorts ratio go negative. An accompanying chart showed that under such rare circumstances, Bitcoin has gone on to rally 3 times since late 2020. Now, funding rates are still overall negative as of Friday, as you can see here from data from monitoring resource CoinGlass. Now, moving on to the forecast, a downturn could produce a rebound at $39,000 should the bulls not be too shaken by the $40,000 mark being broken. To the upside, there are resistance levels on either side of the important point, a breakdown from the summer crash at $47,950 and $52,660. And for the meantime, however, it's yet another case of wait and see. And checking out the latest from Crypto Ed, Bitcoin update, nothing changed. Expecting a move towards 40,000. Bullish scenario indicates a bounce to 48,000, while the bearish comes in play when we break 40K. And checking out the latest updates from crypto analyst Rec Capital, Bitcoin has rejected from the two bull market EMAs that constitute the midpoint of the macro reaccumulation range. They continue to figure as resistance. Both need to be reclaimed as support for Bitcoin to enter the upper half of this macro range, which you can see in the green and the red. And he also shares Bitcoin has been seesawing around the blue 50-week exponential moving average. Yesterday it was above it. Today it's below it. Ultimately, it's all about the weekly close, because a weekly close above it would arguably confirm the end of the Bitcoin correction. Previously orange circle, Bitcoin weekly close above 43,100, preceded upside to 52,000. Bitcoin is still well positioned for a similar weekly close at this time. An ideal close would be above the blue 50-week EMA, which is at the moment acting as resistance just above $43,100. And now for his final update, if Bitcoin loses this 4-hour range low as support in the short term, that could jeopardize a bullish weekly close. At this stage, Bitcoin needs continued consolidation at these highs for the next few days to secure a favorable weekly close. So there you have it. And as I shared in the intro of the show, Samson Mao is running for mayor of Bitcoin City. Let's go. And as he points out, attacks from the legacy system will only intensify in the weeks ahead of the Volcano bond launch. So keep your eyes on the goal. And he's referring to this FUD right here. Fitch downgrades El Salvador's long-term IDR to CCC from B-. And as Plan B points out, Fitch, Moody's, S&P, the same companies that gave dog-ish, rat, and cat-ish AAA ratings, causing the global financial crisis in 2008. That's right, so don't forget it. And quoting legendary billionaire investor Bill Miller, I put a few percent of my net worth into Bitcoin, and it grew so much, it became half. Very powerful words. And before I break down next story of the day, Bitcoin's 30% recovery in 2 weeks has Bitcoin Wells back in accumulation mode. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, Ether, and all the major alts are currently correcting back in the red, with Bitcoin down 3.5% for the day, maintaining just above $43,600, with ETH down 4%, trading just above $3,100. XRP down 7.2%, trading just under 82 cents. Solana down 6%, trading at $106. And Polkadot down 7%, trading at $20.55. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Bitcoin addresses holding at least 1,000 Bitcoin, the so-called whales, have started accumulating more tokens during the recent market recovery. As of February 10th, the total supply in these addresses was 8.096 million BTC versus 7.95 million BTC on January 24th, according to data from Coinmetrics. That's right, the buying sentiment among the richest crypto investors picked up momentum during Bitcoin's recovery in the past 2 weeks as Bitcoin rebounded from its 2022 low of 33,000 on January 24th to around 43,500 today on February 11th. Now, small Bitcoin investors, which are addresses which hold less than 1 BTC, the so-called fishes, also joined the accumulation spree during the recent Bitcoin price rebound. Now, how many of you have been buying the dip? Holla at your boy in the live chat. Now, meanwhile, data resource Ecoinometrics shows that the Coinmetrics data is in the form of clusters, showing a synchronous accumulation behavior among Bitcoin whales and fishes, which you can see here. And interestingly, the clusters look the same as they did in the days leading up to Bitcoin's record high of $69,000 back in November 2021. And quoting them here, once more this cycle, this rebound in price correlates pretty well with both the small fish and the whale addresses buying simultaneously for an extended period of time, wrote Nick. And he also shared the following: I don't know if this signal is going to continue being predictive of a sustained rally, but hey, for now, it's working fine. And a report published by CoinShares this week also showed a rise in inflow across crypto funds last week. Notably, the capital injections into those funds had quadrupled to $85 billion, with $71 million flown into Bitcoin-focused investment products, suggesting renewed institutional interest and also buoying Bitcoin's price recovery. And right here you can see in this chart by coin shares, it shows you the net flows into digital assets as of February 4th. Now, Nick also suggested that Bitcoin has enough room to grow its valuation in the coming months, citing a so-called aggregated risk score derived from 4 parameters: risk of overextended market, risk of a low demand and high supply situation, risk of hodlers taking profits, and a risk of increased selling pressure. Now, the outcome is represented in the colors red and blue, suggesting a hot and cool market respectively. The hotter the market, the higher the selling pressure. As he shares here, right now it is just warming up. In theory, there is no obstacle to the price rising much higher except for the lack of momentum. And now for the Bitcoin price action levels to watch out for. Meanwhile, on-chain data tracking platform Wellmap projected $46,200 to $49,000 at Bitcoin's current resistance range, citing higher trading activity inside that price area in the past. And similarly, the firm noted that the $41,400 to $42,400 range is now acting as support, as shown right here in this chart, with the closest on-chain resistance, according to Well Accumulations, is only currently at $47,000. And before I break down next story of the day, is Bitcoin mirroring Apple's explosive growth? Fidelity's macro analyst likens Bitcoin to the world's richest company. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just under that $2 trillion milestone with $116 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And the current Bitcoin dominance is 41.7%, with the Ether dominance at 18.8%. And checking out the top gainers within the top 100 cryptocurrencies for the past week, we have Gala up 75%, Theta Fuel up 30%, Ethereum Classic up 29%, Shiba up 46%, Theta of 41%, and KDA of 56%. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Fidelity Investments Director of Global Macro, Jurian Timmer, says the price of Bitcoin is set to grow exponentially as the adoption rate increases. Quoting him here from a recent interview, I've compared the whole network effect for Bitcoin to Apple Computer's network effect. So as Apple grows its revenues, its stock prices go up exponentially from that. It doesn't go up in line. Bitcoin is following the same path. And so I think there are some very robust logic to why Bitcoin should see higher values as the demand curve evolves. And the Fidelity Investments Global Macro Director says that Bitcoin is in a class of its own, distinct from other crypto assets. As he shares here, maybe other digital assets will do better relative to Bitcoin because they are more scalable, but at the same time, maybe they are less decentralized. And that's why I would say that to me, Bitcoin is an asset class like a store of value, like gold, and the rest of the digital asset space is more almost like a venture asset. Now, Timmer also says that Bitcoin is currently in the same phase as gold was in the 1970s when the precious metals price was highly volatile. As he shares here, I think of Bitcoin as where gold was in the 1970s. Gold went from being money to being an asset class, and it went through price discovery. It was a teenager, it was coming of age, it was very volatile, it went up a lot, but it had huge drawdowns as well. Bitcoin is doing the same thing. And to watch this entire interview with Jurian Timmer, check the show notes below the video in the description. Also like to point out that not too long ago he predicted one Bitcoin may be worth $1 billion by 2038. That's right. Let me actually share some of his insights right here. Timmer's own demand model grows very slowly in proportion to the stock-to-flow combo supply model. The asset management director's demand model predicts that Bitcoin will reach $1 million by 2030. And on the other hand, the stock-to-flow combo model forecasts a price between $1 million and $10 million by 2030. Now check this out. He also says Bitcoin could hit a whopping $1 billion because it changes in the US dollar value. Timmer stated that the value of a dollar changes in relation to other assets. He further pointed out that $1 invested in stocks in the 18th century is worth about $4 billion of today's money. And going by this assumption, $1 million today could be worth $1 billion in 20 years' time. He makes a great point. And before I break down our final story of the day, on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin could become a $20 trillion asset class. But there is a catch. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,000 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my crypto merch store, now live at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, the daily letter, which goes out to over 30,000 subscribers every single day. To subscribe, visit letter.cryptonewsalerts.net. Also, the blog I update daily, which can be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications and help support the show. And of course, you can follow me on all the major podcasting platforms from Spotify to Apple's iTunes. And if you're listening to the pod, be sure to check out the YouTube channel at cryptonewsalerts.net for the full premium experience with video. And of course, you can follow me on crypto Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and TikTok. So wherever you're at, be sure to to follow me there. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. On-chain analyst Willy Woo, shout out to Willy Woo, says Bitcoin could increase its market cap by more than 20 times from its current levels in the next decade. That's right, in a new interview, the on-chain analyst says Bitcoin could reach a market cap of nearly $20 trillion within the next 10 to 20 years. As he shares here, I think it will be more, maybe close to $20 trillion. Now, Bitcoin is currently trading at 43,500 at the time of this recording, and the market cap standing slightly above 830 billion. Now, Wu says that whether Bitcoin realizes a multi-trillion-dollar market cap will be determined by how the regulatory landscape pans out. As he shares here, I think there's a lot to do with how this plays out within regulation, a lot of unknowns right now. And according to Wu, authorities in places such as Europe are impacting Bitcoin negatively by triggering fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which we all know is FUD. As he points out here, the central bankers, particularly in Europe, are dooming Bitcoin, and there is a lot of FUD right now. I think how that resolves matters. And in 2021, the president of European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, branded Bitcoin as a highly speculative asset used to conduct funny business and call for global cooperation aimed at regulating the flagship crypto. Now, we all know the US dollar is used for funny business more than any other currency in the world. And last month, the vice chair of the European Securities and Markets Authority, Eric Thedin, called for the banning of Bitcoin mining in the Europe Union bloc. And the on-chain analyst also says that Bitcoin could end up failing to realize its full potential. There is a fair chance that Bitcoin, will be regulated to a good try and will be a $1 trillion sort of exotic asset class and not something that's major. But now back to his 20x Bitcoin market cap prediction, going from a $1 trillion to $20 trillion asset class. Now let's hypothetically say the Bitcoin price also moves up 20x from the current price of today, which is 43,500. If we were to move up 20x from here, we're talking about an $870,000 Bitcoin price. Like, whoa. Now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin metrics demand Bitcoin price gains as analysis calls for near-term caution. Also in today's show, we discussed Bitcoin's 30% recovery in 2 weeks as Bitcoin whales back in accumulation mode. Also in today's show, we discussed is Bitcoin mirroring Apple's explosive growth as Fidelity's macro analyst likens Bitcoin to the world's richest company. We also discussed his $1 million and $1 billion Bitcoin price prediction. Also in today's show, we discussed on-chain analyst Willy Woo says Bitcoin could become a $20 trillion asset class. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode, Nathan Roth wrote, I smash every day. Nathan, much respect, fam. Those smashes go a long way and help the channel out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks, fam. Hodl. Our next featured comment comes from Frank Ver, who wrote, $100,000 incoming. You know it, bro. $100,000 Bitcoin incoming, and there is no FUD in the world that can stop it. Time to power up. Let's go Super Saiyan. Let's freaking go. Now for the third and final featured comment comes from Steve Hubbs, who wrote, I think a better question is, when will Bitcoin surpass its $69,000 all-time high? And when will Bitcoin surpass $100,000 rather than thinking of many years in the future as to when it will reach $1 million? Thanks for the feedback, fam. I think all speculation and predictions are great to consider. It makes things fun. I'm calling $100,000 BTC by June of this year and $1 million Bitcoin by the end of 2026. Send it. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below. And don't forget to show me some birthday love. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications and help me get to 100,000 subs. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.